Chris J. Reid.
Yeah, this man knows how to turn heads when he walks into a room. Mr. Reid is the only NASDAQ-listed chief executive with a mohawk.
Wow. On Coffee with the Boss this morning, Lance sits down with the global CEO and founder of Black Marketing.
On Coffee with the Boss, we speak to Chris J. Reid, the founder and global CEO of Black Marketing. Chris has taken this company from one person in one country in 2014 to a full listing on the NASDAQ in 2016. He was awarded Asia's most influential digital media professional by CMO Asia. This man is one of the most viewed LinkedIn profiles. 55,000 follow him, and for 5 years now has a LinkedIn power profile. His late granddad always told him that it was not what you know, it was who you know. Could he be dead right? Well, Chris should be here anytime soon, and from what I hear, he's easy to find. Chris, you're a marketing guru, so I want to pick your brain. With the economy slowing down, how do you stay ahead in terms of branding and marketability?
Excellent question, Lance. It's all about your personal brand. Your personal brand is what takes your business forwards. You are the leader of your company. You are the leader of your team. You are in charge of your own personal brand and your destiny. So you have to invest in your personal brand.
When it comes to the personal brand, I know you talk about the executive branding of someone. Can you explain more in detail what exactly that means to you?
Totally. If I Google you, for example, the first thing that comes up is your LinkedIn profile. So I look at your LinkedIn profile, I get an impression of you, positive, negative. What does it include? What does it not include? You know, where does it talk about your business? Does it talk about your awards, your achievements, your associations? If you fill it with things like thought leadership and content marketing, talk about your career, talk about what you've done, then you have a positive impression of that particular person. If you don't do any of these things, you have a negative impression. People move on to somebody else. So it's up to you. You can fill it with fantastic positive things, or you can not and lose out.
Do Asians make use of that executive branding of theirs, or are they a bit too shy?
No, they're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. I call it be less English and less Asian and more American, but not so American that you think you've invented the entire world, but less, in terms of, you've actually put your achievements out there. English people have the same thing. I mean, I come across English people, they're similar to Asians, very modest, don't want to talk about their achievements, don't want to promote themselves, don't want to be seen to be promoting themselves. But you have to, because if you don't, there will be an American or an Australian out there doing it for you. So you have to overcome the fact that this is your brand, your personal brand, and go into your business brand. It's business at the end of the day on LinkedIn, not personal. It's about you as a business brand.
So what exactly should people be doing? Should they be accentuating the positives of what they have?
Very much so. I'm talking about their career. So, for example, I could talk about going to Singapore without a job, talk about how I kind of used LinkedIn to get my first job, use LinkedIn to build a company, use LinkedIn to go, NASDAQ, the awards I've won, the fact I go to the British Chamber, the American Chamber, all these different things I can talk about. And it adds to my personal brand. They are my brand values, just like Nike, Apple, and Coca-Cola have brand values. So do you. So does everybody else. And that's the whole point. You have to put the information in there. Because people don't know about it if you don't tell them about it. You can't expect someone to think that's amazing if you don't actually say what you've actually done.
You're the only CEO with a mohawk that's got a NASDAQ listing.
Indeed. Very much so, and that's my personal brand. I was in Shanghai last week, I was at a museum, and somebody came up to me and said, you don't know me, but we're connected on LinkedIn, you're Mr. NASDAQ, you're Mr. Mohawk, you're Mr. LinkedIn. I was in Hong Kong the week before, I was in a mall, and somebody said, oh wow, I remember you did a talk for LinkedIn 2 years ago, I recognise the Mohawk. It's so distinctive. Especially someone like Singapore or Hong Kong or Shanghai, which are very conservative societies. So you stand out by putting yourself out there, you will get noticed. And then you have to back it up with substantial things to make sure that you follow through. You've got to match the two together, but it's all about a point of difference. It's an icebreaker too.
What are people doing wrong when it comes to marketing in the 21st century?
They're underestimating what they should do. So they're using things like Facebook and WeChat, for example, which might have 1 billion, 2 billion users, but they're the wrong kind of users if you're in a professional network. You have to think about it in a professional context. Who do you want to be seen by? Who do you want to target in a professional network? That's why I love LinkedIn so much. It's much about you and your company. You know where people come from. You know what their company is. You know where their standing comes from. The trouble with Facebook and Twitter and places like that is no one's using Twitter. WeChat's fantastic in China, but not the rest of Southeast Asia, for example. Not very much in Singapore. Facebook's okay in some countries, not others. Line's okay in some countries, not others. Snapchat and so forth. So you've got to be focused. LinkedIn's all about business, and it's the only business network that's truly global. So people have to think about the context of what they share. Something in Facebook is not right for LinkedIn. Something in LinkedIn, not right for Facebook. So you have to think about how you're sharing, and don't just share things for the sake of it. Share it and think, what effect do you want us to have on somebody from a professional point of view and also from a friends and family point of view. It's very different.
And this is something that you pick up from your grandfather, because I believe he said, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Definitely. I mean, at 9 years old, I was thinking, what do you mean? Surely I just go to university and get a degree and I get a job and that's it. But no, as I went through my career in my 20s, I thought, actually, this is all about networking. So suddenly my second, my third, my fourth, my fifth, and my first job, they all became my clients when I launched my company in my 30s. Because of networking, because I've stayed in touch with them, I connected with them. And then LinkedIn came along. It's even more amazing, especially in somewhere like Asia, where everyone's so positive. What I love about Asia is I reached out here and people said, yes. People in the UK would not say yes. They'd say, no, 6 months' time, 9 months' time, if you're lucky. Whereas here they said, do you want to have a coffee tomorrow? Literally, I was going, really? Coffee tomorrow? That's fantastic. And it's such a, people embrace it here, both the expats and the locals. It's absolutely fantastic how the mix comes together. It's so positive in Asia, not just Singapore, but Southeast Asia, Hong Kong and Shanghai just found such a positive environment. People want to meet you. And it goes across all cultures, all creeds, all everything. It's absolutely fantastic.
You have this vibrancy about you. You know, you must be quite the boss to work.
I'm sure my staff wouldn't necessarily say that.
I'm
very demanding. I'm very demanding. You know, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I cycle to work. I energize myself. And I love it. I work, 15, 16 hours a day, every day of the week. I'm in Shanghai, Hong Kong, I'm, Sydney all the time. I'm in Singapore, I have a lot, Southeast Asia, different countries talking about LinkedIn, very passionate about LinkedIn. And I expect my staff to also be very passionate and to know every single thing. And I get very annoyed, very frustrated when they're not. But I can't expect, it's unreal of me to expect people to be a LinkedIn power profile like I am. I'm the #1 profile of LinkedIn in Singapore, top 10 the whole of Asia Pacific. I'm very passionate about it because I've seen the benefits. I use it personally on a daily basis and I see the benefits on my business. I've grown a business based on LinkedIn and I expect my staff to be able to do the same thing. Not all of them can take it, not all of them can follow that, but the really, really fantastic ones do and they aspire to it and they grow with it and they take that challenge. But it's not for everybody.
Finally, what values are the most important to you, my friend?
They're very much the value of authenticity, integrity, enthusiasm, and being driven. I mean, being driven and enthusiastic, being passionate about your work is so important. I think that supersedes everything in life. I love entrepreneurs when they're so passionate about their work. It doesn't matter whether they've got 1 customer or 1,000 customers, they're passionate about the effect they have on that particular customer. And I love seeing the effect that we have using LinkedIn on our customers. It's amazing.
Can I ask how many coffees you've had? Another one.
I told you.
You don't need coffee, my friend.
I cycle.
Oh,
I get cycling.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, lad.
Chris J. Reid, full of beans, full of coffee beans. Yeah, how about that? Well, if you know of a top executive I should chat with, let me know. You can reach me at LandCNA. Remember to use the hashtag FirstLookAsia too.
Such great characters on that segment. I love it.
下集精彩